Hello there, everyone. How you doing? It's myself, Rab from the Big Rab Show. How are yous? Now, the reason behind this live stream is, well, the title of it explains it all. The deadline for the Big Rab Show Awards nominations closes today. All right, now I have to say, over the last week or so, you guys have been sending in tons of nominations for all of our categories, and there's a lot coming in. So the reason behind the live stream is to remind you of that fact that the deadline is fast approaching. And yeah, we'll get into all of the reasons why exactly we're doing a live stream right now, because there's a lot. There's a lot. All right. So I need to remind you, our email address is always bigrabshow@gmail.com. There's the address down the bottom, bigrabshow@gmail.com. And that's where you need to go to send us your nominations for the Big Rab Show Awards. I think this year is kind of shaping up to be one of the biggest Big Rab Show Awards that we've done in recent memory. Going by the sheer volume of nominations that we've got in, it's crazy. Anyway, drop us in a comment, no matter where you're watching us right now. We always do love to hear from you. But before we get into all the topics to do with our, categories and nominations, finalists, voting, all of that kind of stuff, we have to give a shout out to our sponsors, of course, don't we?
My name's Craig Monroe. I'm the production director and owner at Wallace Bagpipes in Glasgow. The thing that's most iconic about piping is definitely the sound that it creates. The melody of the chanter, the drone sound in the background, it overcomes people with emotion. I started playing the pipes at the age of 8 years old. I fell in love with the instrument and it's became my life and my career. We are a modern day bagpipe maker, but we still rely heavily on tradition. The raw material that we use is called African blackwood. When it comes to us, it comes in block form, almost cut to the sizes that it's going to be, and it'll be waxed either end for protection. We have our Wallace bagpipes being played in all of the top pipe bands around the world, but for me, the biggest ambassador that we have for Wallace bagpipes would definitely be the Red Hot Chili Pipers, a world-renowned bagpipe act that fusions traditional bagpipes with modern music. It's making people excited about bagpipes again.
There you go. Shout out to G1 Reeds, of course, our principal sponsor, and of course the Wallace Bagpipes as well. Now, we're also sponsored by the ES Session Chanter crowd as well, which is fantastic. And also shout out to the Pipers Dojo. But we just haven't got a fancy video together for them just yet. But we're working on it. There we go. All right, so comments coming in. There's Adrian. Love the shirt, Rab. Yes, you like it. Of course, it's my Tully Lagan pipe band shirt that I just happened to pull this out of the drawer this morning. But there you go. I do play for the Tully Lagan, so they'll have to give them a shout, don't we? Have to represent them. All right, now we're talking about the Big Rab Show Awards. Yeah, we mentioned at the very beginning there that the nominations are flooding in. Now, we're going to get into some of the categories here, and some of them, I'm not going to spoil who has been nominated or anything like that, but I'm going to tell you some of these are absolutely on a knife edge. All right? Now, what I mean by that is the nominations, whenever they come into us at thebigrabshow@gmail.com, the way the nominations work is that at the deadline at 5 p.m. this evening, that's the cutoff. And then we start counting, all right? So the amount of nominations that we receive for a band, a product, a location, whatever we're going to start chatting about, we just tot them up in a total, and then we have a cutoff point. It's either a top 5 or top 4, depending on how many nominations we get, and then we announce our finalists. Yeah, and let's say this, looking at the numbers, there are some categories here that are absolutely on a knife edge. All right, so the first category we have, of course, is Most Improved Band. Now, we've got a wealth of varied nominations around this. Now, we're not just talking top flight bands here, of course. We're talking about all through the grades, and the nominations reflect that, you know? We're getting tons of nominations for a lot of our lower grade bands, especially grade 4B and 3A in particular, the two grades that we're getting a lot of nominations for. So keep them coming in. If you want to see your band in that Most Improved category, then get your nominations in. Next one is Best Tenor Flourishing. Now, this one's been pretty heavily dominated by the Grade 1 big guns. We're seeing a lot of Grade 1 bands being nominated in here. However, we are seeing some of the lower grade bands represented in here, and yeah, we would like to encourage that if possible. We do know that there's a lot of great tenor work happening in the lower grades as well as the top flight, you know? So again, if you have a real blistering good tenor core, then drop them in a nomination. All right, next. Best Venue. This one, as expected, we've got a ton of nominations for Glasgow, for the Worlds. Of course, it's everybody's favourite venue, of course. But we have received quite a number of international venues as well. There's been quite a few, actually, in the United States that have been nominated in here by the looks of things, going by the numbers. So lots of nominations being received internationally, both for the United States, Canada. We've even had a few in Australia, and 2 or 3, I think, nominations coming in for New Zealand. So, yeah, the nominations for this category haven't been decided yet, but it's looking quite like an international affair. So, keep them coming. All right, next, we have Best Dressed. And, yeah, a lot of people are getting confused on this one. Best Dressed. Whenever we're talking about this, we're talking about pipe bands. All right, we're not talking about individuals. We have received some nominations to say, or Jimmy, who lives down the road, he's the best dressed fella in the whole world. No, we're talking about pipe bands, all right? Bands that are really well kitted out. That's what this category's for. And we have received quite a number of nominations for bands who have real striking uniforms. So good stuff. Get that. All right. Next one. This one's been a real one for debate. Yeah, the Best Competitive Band Medley Performance. Yeah. Now, this doesn't specifically have to be for this season, although we would prefer it to be. Although, yeah, a lot of you guys out there have been nominating previous performances from back in the day, you know. And, yeah, if you want to recognize your favorite medley in here, then absolutely. And again, I have to say, it doesn't have to be the top flight, you know. It could be any grade. So, yeah, drop us in a nomination for your favorite competitive medley. All right, this next one. Coolest bass drum. I have to say, there's been some real shining examples of what a cool looking bass drum is. And yeah, the nominations that we're receiving in, again, has been very international. We're getting a lot of UK bands, obviously, but we are also getting a lot of international bands being nominated in here as well. So it's brilliant to see the nominations coming in. If your band has a particularly cool bass drum, then make sure to get your nomination in. All right. Okay. Next one is Best Concert or Live Performance. Do you know, I think this year, yeah, 2024, we've been really spoiled for live performances. You know, when you look all the way back to the beginning of the year, you know, mine goes back as far as the Kids with Cancer event, and we've also had big concerts from the likes of People's Ford, Bog Hall and Bathgate, and St. Lawrence O'Toole. We've had, yeah, there's been a wealth of great fantastic band concerts and stuff, and not just the bands as well. I have to say the trad and folk scene as well. So a lot of great live performances to consider there. Yeah, so that's a great category there. Keep your nominations coming. Next one is Best Social Media. Now, this could be for a band, a product, a business, anything like that to do with piping, I have to say. Ourselves in the Big Rab Show, we've received quite a number of nominations, but unfortunately, folks, we're not accepting those. We're not going to hand ourselves an award here. So, yeah, sorry. For those of you who have nominated the Big Rab Show, sorry, you've thrown away your nomination there. We won't be counting those. But, yeah, if you do have a particular, you know, piping outlet, for example, a distributor, a manufacturer, or just a social media channel in general that you think deserves best social media, then drop them in a nomination. There you go. All right, on to Best Band Tent. I could just about talk. Best band tent or gazebo. Now, this has been a real trend in recent years that we've noticed, that a lot of people take great pride in their band tent. Yeah, and some of these are really intricate with lighting. I even seen one last year, well, this past season, that had TV screens in it, refrigeration, ways to cook food like barbecues and stuff. And some of them are like, there's a lot of work goes into these. So yeah, we thought we would recognize that in the Big Rab Show Awards. So if your band has a particularly cool gazebo or band tent, then do drop them a nomination. All right, next we have the Best Branch Award. Now, this was a new one. We figured that, a lot of our pipe band branches all around the globe put in a serious amount of work to make our piping world function. They organize competitions for us and all sorts of great fun events, all led by volunteers, and we wanted to recognize that. And that great work that goes on behind the scenes by those unsung heroes. If you are part of a particular branch that you believe deserve recognition with a Rab Show Award, then please do consider dropping them a nomination. Now, that doesn't have to be strictly here in the UK, or it could be absolutely internationally. Yeah, so if you're part of a piping and drumming organisation or a branch and you just think that they deserve a nomination, then go for it. Drop them in. All right, next is the best new product or innovation. Now, what we're seeing here, we've got a good number of products actually suggested to us for nomination, which is great to see. But what we're also seeing now is innovation. We're seeing a lot of innovations being nominated. Now, what we mean by that is new ways of doing things. All right. Now, it doesn't just have to mean the latest tech, the latest gadget or gizmo. It could just be a new way of organizing a contest or judging or arranging a march past or any of that. If you have, come across a good new innovation this past season that you believe that was kind of cool, I wish we could do more of that, then absolutely try and recognize it with a Rab Show Award. There you go. Okay, on to the next Best Beard. Now, I know I haven't shaved this morning, so I'm looking a bit like a shaggy dog, so I could not win Best Beard ever. But this category is fiercely fought over every year by a lot of very handsome men with faces of fur. So, if you have a particular bearded member of your band who deserves a Big Rab Show Award for his beard, then please do drop in a nomination for the Big Rab Show Award Best Beard. That one's always really hard fought over, I have to say. All right, next one is another new one, which is the Big Rab Show Tone Award. Now, again, this strictly doesn't have to be the top flight. Could be any grade. But if your band is blowing particularly heavy reeds, for example, if you feel you deserve that Tone Award, absolutely. Drop in the nomination for the Big Rab Show Tone Award, and that could go to any band in any grade. Yeah, good stuff. Next one is Band of the Year. Now, this does not mean our world champions, all right? It doesn't mean, okay, well, that's automatically who's going to win this. It could be any band in any grade that you feel is deserving of that Band of the Year title. Now, it could be for multiple different reasons. It could be, for teaching young kids, for example, or doing a lot of community work, or, basically supporting your local community with a lot of different charity events. Things like that. Bands that are heavily involved in their local community could be recognized as Band of the Year. Now, obviously, the obvious choice is, of course, those prizes that have stepped into the circle and won a whole slew of prizes. Of course, winning the big yin as well is a big mark of respect, I guess, being the best band on the field on the day in Glasgow. Absolutely. But, yeah, if you feel that there's any other bands out there that should be recognised as Band of the Year, then drop them into us. bigrabshow@gmail.com, Band of the Year. All right. Then onto our final category, which is very difficult to decide on, to be honest. I know a lot of people were struggling with this, but the Big Rab Show Legend Award. Yeah, Big Rab Show Legend Award can go to an individual who is seen as having legendary status in the bagpiping world. Now, it could be anyone that you see as an inspirational figure in the bagpiping scene that you feel should be recognized with a Legend Award. There you go. So tons of names all been flowing into us here at the Big Rab Show, and we love to see them. So keep them coming. All right. Let me see. There's another one. Hard choices to be made. Ewan, you're spot on. Absolutely. And I know a lot of people are sort of agonizing over their choices right now. A lot of categories, a lot of things to consider before dropping in your nominations. But again, the whole purpose of this live stream right now is to remind you the nominations are closing. 5 p.m. this evening, UK time, which is literally in about 5 hours' time from now, nomination window will close. And that's it. You cannot nominate anymore going forward. All right, here's one from Colin. Rab, you had a piper in a wheelchair on your live show at Piping Live. I think her name was Katie. Yes, Katie the Wheel Piper. Does she have a website? I believe she does. And I'm not sure. She has a lot of social media, I guess. So you can follow the links through to her socials. So yeah, Facebook, Twitter. I think she has an Instagram and that as well. So you can go and find Katie on those. There you go. Adam, hey Rab, can't believe SFU didn't place higher at the Worlds. Hope you don't mind me commenting. Adam, not at all. Not at all. Yeah, SFU had a fantastic year this year. Yeah, and yeah, I don't know. Those guys in the clipboards have the most difficult job in the world. I just don't know. I just don't know how they do it. But hey, the placings are the placings. It is what it is. Either way, the Grade 1 contest was just fantastic. There you go. 2 Scots for most improved. Kenneth, yes. Yeah, that's a good shout. 2 Scots that had a real strong season this year and have now found themselves upgraded. Yeah, so a couple of spots actually. They skipped a few grades. So fair play to the 2 Scots. Yeah, a good shout. Let me see, Ewan. I'm going to take the easy route. Nominate everyone and everything. Okay. I like your thinking there. Yeah, absolutely. Love that. So, yes, just to remind you, okay, nominations close 5 p.m., which is literally 5 hours from now. And the biggest thing with the Big Rab Show Awards that we get every year, those guys should have won. Oh, that band should have won. Oh, that product should have won, etc., etc., etc. All right, and we get it every year. But I have to say, our normal question that goes right back to everyone is, did you nominate them? It all starts here. If you don't nominate your favorite, then they can't be in. So if they're not in, they can't win. Isn't that what they say? I must say I was a fan of Police Federation at this year's Worlds. Yeah, Jamie, do you know what? They played an absolute blinder. How do we end up talking about Worlds, by the way? But yeah, absolutely, I agree. We've played their set now a few times on Fuse. Great stuff. Hey Rab, is the best beard only open to men or can we nominate women too? Stevie, that's cheeky, but you can if you so wish. Go for it, but yeah, it's up to you. It's up to you. There's Ewan. Joking aside, so many to choose from. Yeah, Ewan, I have to agree, absolutely. And he's also agreeing with Stevie. Best comment. There you go. Go, Stevie. Yeah, do you know what? The Big Rab Show Awards are 100% driven by you folks out there. All right? If we get enough nominations through, could well make the final. It's all a numbers game. So, yeah, get those nominations in. They're vitally important, as I've said. And it's the number one complaint from people. You know, every year we run the Rab Show Awards, they go, they should have won. This should have won. Our next protocol as well, did you nominate them? And the answer is 9 times out of 10, oh, no, I didn't. And then, well, then if you didn't nominate them, then you couldn't vote for them. There you go. So that's how the whole process starts, right here with the nomination process. All right, so you have 5 hours now to get your thinking caps on and to nominate your particular favourite. I have to stress, however, any nomination received after 5 p.m. UK time will not be counted. It would be pretty much a wasted email at that point. It'll hit the scrapping room floor, as they say, the cutting room floor. There you go. But yeah, your nomination will be scrapped after 5 p.m. if it's received after 5 p.m. So yeah. Now, as far as announcing the finalists and all of that is concerned, well, they're going to be announced on the Big Rab Show podcast next week. Yeah, we're going to be announcing all of our finalists and then, of course, where you folks can go and vote for your favourite. We'll explain everything about where to go and vote, who our finalists are in each category, and then, of course, when the voting will end, of course, and then when we will announce our winners. So that'll all be on the Big Rab Show podcast this week. All right. Okay. A right good few bass drum skins to choose from. Kenneth, you're not wrong. And that's what we're seeing, if anything, in our nominations. There's a good variety. I have to say, in all categories, though, there's a good variety. We're seeing, like, truly international nominations coming in, not just from bands here in the UK, I have to stress. So they are worldwide, which is brilliant to see, you know. We are the Rab Show. We do our best to try and reflect the entire bagpiping world. So, yeah, it's brilliant to see. Absolutely. And there's Colin. Did the result from one of the groups get sorted. You said on the review show that I think it was grade 3B. The wrong winner was announced. No, Colin, that was wrong. So it was the novice juvenile B that we were talking about. And everyone knows about that situation. And we've moved on since then, I guess. That was a horrible, horrible mess. Anyway, but yes, that has been addressed and we've taken care of that. You can go back and listen to previous episodes, Colin, where we did talk all about that on the show. Ewan, I need to contact you as I may be able to help out a little at some contests. I've worked recently in the entertainment industry, TV stage, live, and with your own broadcasting kit. Hey, there you go. Awesome, Ewan. Thank you so much. Yeah, you can. There's the website, bigrabshow.com. You can get in contact with us there. We do have a team of volunteers behind the scenes who make this show possible. So, yeah, if you want to join the team, give us a shout. More than happy to hear from all enthusiastic volunteers that will help us cover the bagpiping world wherever possible. So, folks, you have, well, at this point, less than 5 hours to consider every single category and drop us in your all-important nominations. As I said, nominations close at 5. Nominations received after that will not be counted. And yeah, we will announce all of our finalists on the Big Rab Show podcast this week. It's all very exciting, isn't it? So good luck to all of our nominees out there. I do know there's a number of you out there who are running campaigns right now to get nominated, which is smashing to see. It's brilliant. Thank you. So yeah, keep those nominations flowing in. The more nominations we receive, mathematically, the better, I have to say. Yeah. Also, I'm going to throw in a little cheeky little reminder for ourselves here on the Big Rab Show. The Scots Trad Music Awards are also running their own nomination process right now. And if you have enjoyed our show at any point over the last 400 plus episodes, then yeah, maybe you can drop us in a nomination yourself to the Scots Trad Music Awards. Yeah. Number 6 is Music in the Media. And yeah, maybe type in the Big Rab Show for the Scots Trad Music Awards. That's all I'm going to say. Just going to sprinkle that little one in there. If you do want to, that would be, yeah, very well received. Thank you. All right, folks, I'm out the door. Thank you all for watching our brief live stream. Just by way of reminder to get your nominations in now. Email us, bigrabshow@gmail.com. It's vitally important that you do so, because if you don't, then your favorite band, product, location, anything like that may not reach the final 4 in each of our categories. So good luck to all of our nominees. Good luck to everyone out there who's having to try and think of who they're going to nominate for each one. And yeah, we will see you all on the Big Rab Show podcast this week for a very exciting episode as we announce all of our finalists. It's exciting stuff, isn't it? I love this. All right, folks, I'm out the door. Thank you all for watching. And I'll see you all in the next one. All the best.